What is going on, everybody? I ran a Twitter poll to see what coin we would use tonight to tune the MSI, the new MSI GeForce GTX 1660 Super Gaming X on the live stream tonight. That's what the poll was about. And ZEL, used to be called ZEL Cash, they won by a pretty wide margin. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So let's get into it. All right, what is up, everybody? Let me see if anybody's in here. Not yet, but that's okay. It's Monday night, football and all that stuff's going on. So as you know, I've got a new, as you probably know, I've got a new MSI card. It's a 1660 Super. It's the Super Gaming X. And I've got a couple of videos here where I installed it, unboxed it, installed it, and then tonight we're going to kind of look at tuning it for, it turns out we're going to tune it for ZEL. So let's take a look at it. This card it basically offers Turing architecture without the ray tracing. Let me pull up the little, what am I looking for here? Pull this up here. And it's got 1408 CUDA cores. The base clock is 1530. The boost clock is 1830. And the TDP is about, well, it is 125. It's got 6 gig of GDDR6 memory. And it's quite a bit faster on the memory side than the regular 1660. So I was really expecting it to be quite a bit better than it actually is, I guess, but per watt, the mega hash per watt is still really good. You know, you're just not going to see higher hash rates for most projects, most coins, because it's just not powerful enough to get up there. But if you compare the per watt mega hash or souls, whichever you know, algorithm you're using there, it's actually really good on wattage and the efficiency. So it's one of the more efficient cards out there. So this is what we're going to be looking at. And if we go over here to, I got a little spreadsheet going here where I have the GPU little specs here talking about which coin we're going to look at, which is ZEL, and which OS we're going to use, which is hash rate, and then which miner. Now, I did a little bit of research and I saw some people were saying that the Mini Z miner was better. I tested it out and I actually got less hash rates on this particular card with Mini Z than I did with G miner. So I'm just going to stick with G miner. Maybe if we have time, maybe we'll play around with Mini Z also. So, and we're looking at using version 1.75. Just got the algorithm here, but this is the cool part. So I made this spreadsheet. It's got, a lot of people like spreadsheets, I guess, but it's got the hash rate that we're going to obtain, hopefully, and then the hash rate per watt. So it's got some good calculations in here, overclock settings and things like that. So you can use this, you could use this to kind of play around and see what is the best, you know, settings. So it also goes over profitability. We're going to get into all this, you know, years to break even, and isn't that weird that we have to say years to break even instead of months? So yeah, so this is what we're going to look at. Let's go ahead and go over to the actual rig. So here is the hash rate OS. Here's the rig in hash rate OS. And it looks like, I mean, it's a 6 GPU rig, but it's GPU 2012 right here. This is the one that is the 1660 Super. And it's identified on here as MSI unknown. And that's just because the way that the OS identifies the card, it's pretty new, so it's just not a part, it's not in the database yet, you know, so it's just kind of hanging out there. But it does have the driver. The driver that we're using is Also, I listed it over here somewhere. Somewhere on here, yeah, there it is right there. So driver version 430.5, which is, you know, it has, that's the driver for that particular, or it supports that card, so you can use it. Long story short, you can use it in the rig to mine. So, all right, so it just popped up there a little bit, 2420 now, but you know, it varies a little bit over time, so you just kind of have to keep an eye on it. And none of this is going to be like perfect. You know, I mean, it changes, you know, the hash rate changes, not a lot, you know, there's a little variance in there. So just keep that in mind, that this is not like a perfect science or anything. All right, let's get into the rig here, show you what I've got so far. So it looks like I've got 100 on the core, 0 on the memory, 90 on the power limit, 0 on the fan, and then a target temp of 60. And at the moment, it's doing 2420. So let's go ahead and make sure that that's what our spreadsheet says. It doesn't. It says 2320, so 2420. And that's solutions per second, because we are on a Equihash type coin, right? So it's sols. All right, so that gets us, oh, we have to get all this other stuff in here. Okay, so we don't know what the hash rate per watt is, because that's a calculation. You can see it over here, the little calculation. So we're going to get into that. Let me make sure that the overclock settings are like that. It's 100, 0, 90. Okay, 100, 0, 90. Got it. So now we need, what is the measured power draw? So what is it actually drawing? And that's right here. So it's actually, right now it's 91. Now that'll fluctuate too. It'll go from like 89, it'll say 90 sometimes it'll say 91. So right now it's pumping out 91, not pumping out, but it's using 91. So now we have to change this to 91, and you're gonna see this hash rate per watt go down, right? A lower number, which is not what you want. Or maybe not. The measured power draw, power limit 90. Why did that not move? Well, maybe, oh, it might not have changed because we have more hash rate. So it's probably just sticking with the same thing. So let's go ahead and throw it, let's make it like something crazy like 70. Yeah, see how it changed? Okay, so I was wondering why it didn't change, but all right, so if it's 91, it goes back to 0.27 per watt. All right, so whoop. And then you got, this is the setting that's in the OS, 90, and then this is what it's actually pulling. So then we're going to scoot over here a little bit, and if you looked up the specifications for the card, the TDP, the thermal, I think it's disbursement power, I think is what it stands for, that is 125 on the card. So what they recommend is typically, you know, you're looking at about a 70% of TDP is what you want your power to be set to. So in this case, I've got a calculation in here that says, you know, to multiply the TDP by 70%, and that comes up to 87.5. So we could go over and set the miner to also be 87.5, but in my mind, 80 or 90 is what we have it set to. That's close enough. I'm not going to worry about, you know, 2.5 watts. So we're close enough. So 90 is good. You probably wouldn't even see a drop. You wouldn't see much of a change at all if you set it to 87 or 88 if you round it up. Probably wouldn't be much of a difference anyway. And then the temperature, just for documentation, it's actually sitting at 61 right now. I like to just keep an eye on that to see what we got. Some of these are more for different OSs. I think I do have that pill enabled in here, although it doesn't make a difference. So yeah, it is enabled. So we'll go ahead and document that. We'll just say no effect. We can turn it on and off if you want, just to play around with it, but doesn't do anything. All right, so driver version 430.5, CUDA 10.1. Now I got this card for, this is the important part because this is about profitability and mining and all that stuff. So I got this card for $279.99 off of Amazon. I believe that you can get it for $269 now off of Newegg. So just keep that in mind. And I've got my residential power here, or actually the power where I live, is 11 cents per kilowatt hour after taxes and fees and all that stuff. And I've also included an option in here for how many hours a day that the rig is going to be on. And this all comes down to how long it takes to pay off this device, to break even, right? So this comes out to, if it's on 24 hours a day, then that's based on, based on the power that it consumes, the 90 watts or 89 or whatever it was. Then it's going to be 2184 watts a day, and that's 2.184 kilowatt hours. So it costs you 24 cents a day USD to run this card. So the cost a month is $7.21. Now we have to figure out, okay, so based on our hash rate, how much ZEL can we mine each day? How many? So our hash rate is 2420, right? So if we go over to what to mine, you could actually set this up to where it pulls the info off of an exchange. And I don't know if you could probably do it through what to mine, and there's probably all kinds of different APIs you could pull it from, but I just choose to just go ahead and just look it up and drop the number in there. But you could automate it a little bit. So let's go over here to, we're going to need this as well, the current value in USD of ZEL. Let's go ahead and copy that and throw that into spreadsheet. It is rounded up, so it's going to, so it's going to be 5, so that's fine. All right, so you can see I've already done some of the calculations. I did this yesterday, but we'll see what it shows today based on difficulty and all those different things. So if we come in here and we go 2420, I think, right? I think I can do it like this. 2420. And then 90, we'll just say 90 watts because that's what we have the power limit set to. So 2420 at 90. And then the power is set correctly over here. So we're going to go calculate. So based on that, we should get between 10 and 11. I would call this, I would say 11 based on what I'm seeing here. So just an average. I would average these two numbers, estimated rewards and estimated over 24 hours. So we'll go with 11. So we should earn 11 with this card per day. I think that's right. I think I'm doing this right. All right, so let's go over here. Yeah, that's kind of odd. I wonder why I'm finding, I mean, that's a huge difference than what I have here. Okay, but I don't know, maybe this was from something else. So it looks like 11 per day. Now this says we should earn about, yeah, I don't think I'm doing something right here because that's actually not that bad. You see here. Yeah, look at the right number over here. But again, this is just an instant thing too. Like this could change pretty quickly, like the number you can get per day. So, but right now, right this second, it does look like it's right. I mean, we're pretty close to what it's telling us our profit should be each day. You can see that right here, pretty close. know what? I'm kind of missing a missing a calculation in here though, because I'm not accounting for. Yeah, I'm not accounting for the electric cost right here. It looks like. So what I need to do, I need to put another column in here that says, or actually just use this. I'll mess with that and fix that up. But basically, we can come in here and go, okay. So this says 30. So what does that come out to? 10 cents, basically. 10 cents a day. So we would go right here. We would just say, how can I do this? Yeah, I need all my other calculations in there. All right, well, I'll fix this up. I don't know if I can do it on the fly here. So we want to have this, and then we want to subtract. This might be pretty easy. AB 5. We want to. All right, there we go. All right, that was pretty easy. I think that's right. It's not matching up exactly with this though, but I probably have something. Oh well, good grief. Yeah, you know what? Oh, you know what it did? Okay, that makes sense. All right, so I need to put one card in here for it not to do what it did. All right, so I think it's got to compare it to that too. Oh, I thought I did it like this before. There we go. Okay, so this will be better. All right, yeah, my bad. Whenever I hit calculate, it actually wiped out what I had up here, or I didn't have anything selected, so it defaulted to the 3 480s. All right, so let's go back through this a little bit. So we got 2420 at 90. That's almost exactly what they said we should get. What Mine says we should get. A little bit less. But that's because I had a 1660 selected, right? And we've got a super. But, I mean, a little bit different, but not too bad. Alright, so this is saying, yeah, see there's the difference. Because it was saying 11, and that's way too much. Okay, I knew in my mind, I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome. Pretty big jump. Okay, so about 6.1 is what we'll call it per day. Coins per day, 6.1. All right, here we go. Now, I don't need to have that calculation on here. That's what kind of threw me off. Does that look right? Maybe not. Let's see. That's with no power. So yeah, it looks like it should be about 6 after power. So maybe I do need to leave that on there. So I'm going to minus, but that's only going to give me 4, but that's still pretty close. Again, this is not a perfect science, right? So I'm going to subtract, not there, right here, I'm going to subtract AB 5 again. So minus AB 5. All right. So earnings per day is 4, even though over here it says 6. I mean, it makes a pretty big difference, but if these calculations are right, after power costs though, okay, so this is after power, it'll take you 17 years to pay off that card. break even. I think I did that right. Let me check the chat and see if I'm messing this all up. What's up, man? What is up, Daniel Keller and Yashnik and Walken and Red Panda? What's up? Did I miss anybody? Oh, Miles is in here too? Where's Miles? All right. And Shuby, what's up, man? All right, so I don't know if y'all were listening to me or not. Looks like y'all are chatting it up, and that's cool. I think I did that right. Walking, is my math right? Because if it is, that's really depressing. I think it's right. And this is not definitely not a slam on ZEL or anything. It's not, you know, I mean, for crying out loud, everything's getting hammered, but so right now, if my math is right, it would take 17 years to pay off that card after you pay electric. And that's just goes to show you how ultimately important electric is. So if you have cheap electric, you know, you can always come in here and play with the numbers. If you have like really cheap electric, you can really cut the number down a lot, right? Let's say you were paying $0. Yeah, this what I wanted to kind of highlight here is the fact that, you know, used to, you know, everybody in here can attest to this, but you know, you just turn on a rig, you point it at ETH, and you just you throw all the power at it you could, because the electric didn't really matter. You were going to make enough. You just crank it up and try to get 32 mega hash on every card you got, right? And you know, then you had enough income basically, or your rewards were enough to compensate. So people didn't really worry about it. But the way things are right this second, you see this calculation is crazy, right? I mean, you have to get down to the nitty gritty and figure out if it's worth it or not, right? So, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. But like I've said in the past, you know, there are certain projects like ZEL, like CCX, like there's a few other, Rio, you know, is another one. There's a few of them that I like, so I like to throw hash power at them to support them, keep the network going and all that stuff. You know, it's almost like I've said this before too, it's almost like a favor at this point. Exactly, Daniel, the difficulty comes down so low on some things that you start really accumulating a lot more. You know, as a matter of fact, this one, just yesterday, whenever I was kind of playing around with this spreadsheet a little bit yesterday, it was only earning 5 ZEL, and now it's 6, I think, right? Yeah, 6.1. So the difficulty's probably coming down a little bit. I didn't check the difficulty, but it's probably coming down a little bit, and you know, you're starting to earn a little bit more. So back to that whole dollar cost averaging, you know, if you want to really dollar cost average into a project, the best way to get that slow steady drip is mining. I mean, it's just, there's just no doubt about that. And compared to on a particular project like ZEL, a 1070 is awesome. I mean, awesome. As far as like the price, you know, even if you had to buy it used, a used 1070, the hash rate, and the power, all that stuff, it gets, I mean, we can probably go through that real quick too, because I have some 1070s up here. Let's look at that real quick. We'll run a few numbers here. Make sure that my and grab these calculations and stuff. Just do it like this. All right, so if we were looking at a 1070, come over here. Right here is a 1070, and it's got power is set to 95. See here, so it's at 29. Yeah, look at this, man. This is going to be crazy. Okay, so 29.8 at 88 watts. $29.8, 88. So see, the hash rate per watt for that is at 0.34, quite a bit more than the 1060 or the 1660. Over here, come right here and go. What did we say it was? Whoop. $29.80. So you'd be earning about 7.5 with a 1070 each day. So a couple years. Something changed. So okay, so this makes sense. I wonder why was that calculation so off? It wouldn't be 17 years. Was I doing something wrong then? I forget. It's 2.7 years. That makes more sense. But is that before? Let's see here. Yeah, that's before power. Okay. So this, I guess this reverted back. No. I don't know. I need to play around with this because that doesn't look right to me. Maybe it is though. That's what I was getting yesterday. It seemed like it was about that, but this is not subtracting. Oh, the cost per day, that's why. Okay, so I put it at 0. That's right. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, if you weren't paying your electric, I'm throwing these numbers in the wrong spot. Here we go. Don't laugh at me, Miles. Okay, I think this is right. So this right here can't be right, I don't think. $0.07. Maybe. Okay, so if it's a 1070, I mean, wow, that just makes a pretty huge difference. Even though what to mine is only saying 10 cents, but still, it's a pretty pretty big difference. Still 6 years, but you know. Yeah, and it's really important to remember that this is literally right this second. I mean, everything could change tomorrow, right? So, or it could change in a few minutes. You know, this is just calculation for right now. All right, so that is gonna pretty much wrap it up for me. I don't know. Anything else y'all want to look at? I think y'all are all on board with the same mindset as me, so. Yeah, I'm at 11 cents per kilowatt hour, yeah. Definitely killing the profitability. I need to move to Canada maybe. It's a nice looking card though. It's gonna be cool for like gaming and stuff. Maybe. But I like the look of it. All those RGBs make it a lot faster too. So yeah, like if I had 0.5, that would be sick. That would be decent profitability. It's just tough right now. I mean, I've talked about this a lot on the stream and on my channel. You know, it's just one of those things where right now, as long as I'm not really losing a lot after compensating for my time for getting things on and off an exchange and all that stuff, I'm okay with losing a little bit. But I don't want to be losing too much. I'll probably need to come up with some type of calculation for that as well. Like time, how much is your time worth, you know? Yeah, it seems like if you were 4 cents or under, you could pretty much. That's a good analogy there, Goldilocks zone, because it would be really hard for you not to be profitable on something, pretty much all the time. So. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I have enough for a ZEL node, but I just haven't set it up yet. Well, I guess that you guys aren't laughing at my math, so it must be pretty accurate. Miles will be able to tell us quickly, right? I've got enough for a basic, I think, or whatever the lowest number one or the lowest tier was. Are y'all saying to do a node right now? I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that right now. I think it's. I mean, we can go and look at what they are. I mean, I know you guys can go through it and stuff, but yeah, that would be kind of tough for me to do right now. I'm kind of pressed for time and stuff. So let's see here. Not in the right spot. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, we can set it up. We can do something. That's fine. I don't remember this. This looks new to me, actually. This right here looks new. I don't remember this. I must have updated this a little bit, maybe. All right. Yeah, here's the tiers. So yeah, I've got enough for this. Well, we could probably get to this pretty easily. Let's see here. If we go to the dashboard, we can find out how much it will cost at the moment, right? I think somewhere over here. I thought there was a way to see. Here we go. Okay. So this is the USD cost right here, right now. So we could definitely probably pool some money together and get this one. Miles is saying top right, top left. Well, which is it, man? What am I looking at? Okay. Yeah, top right is the pricing data. To do this, I don't, not yet. That was actually I was gonna do I was gonna look into that and do a video on it. Actually, I don't have that yet. So this is how much it costs per month. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's set something up. That sounds like fun. Okay, so you can change this, I guess, what it actually is, depending on how much it is. Gotcha. All right, guys, I am going to get out of here in a minute if y'all stop talking. Yeah, Red Panda, right here is the hardware. I think I actually had, I want to say I did a video on the nodes before, and what was the limiting factor? I think it came down to whether or not you had, I want to say it would, like for a residential, it would have been tough because of the uptime. Because you have to have, although I seem to recall it was a little bit you have like 20 minutes or something like that a day that it can be down. I forget all the details of it. There you go, 40 minutes per day for maintenance. Or any other reason, and then the nodes will give you what, rewards you deserve, right? Unless you go over that 40 minutes, then I think it starts, declining drastically if your node is offline. I agree, well, Bear Man. Yeah, because I pointed that out too, because you want to get into it whenever the value of the currency is low, right? I mean, the higher this is, the higher the cost of your node is going to be. So I pointed this out on a couple of the recent videos, about ZEL. Like, man, if you were, as I think whenever I first started kind of looking at the ZEL nodes, let's see where that was at back here. I don't think I have a ZEL playlist, I don't think. Let's see if I named it properly here. Yeah, I thought that there was one in here. This is an hour long, so I might have talked about it in here. The actual nodes. I thought I had an actual video on the node. Maybe not. Yeah, I think I just talked about it at the end of this video or something. But anyway, and I was saying that as time went on, oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. There for a while, at the beginning of every live stream, I would go through some of the coins, like my top 10 or top 5 or whatever. And I would point out, because this is gone. Let me decrease the time frame here. Go like 3 months or something. Yeah, so like whenever I was first doing the videos recently, it was up around here. So like the node or the mining videos were around in this area, I think. So as time went on, I kept pointing out, I was like, listen, if you're interested in those nodes, like right around in here would probably be a pretty good time to get into it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we should do something for real. probably need to look into that. No doubt. Yeah, I know. It's all my fault. What's the all-time low here? Oh man, I remember whenever it was like that too at the turn of the year. So in 4 months, wow, look at that. It went from 2 to 24 cents. Wow. Right now, you've been selling GPUs on eBay, Chris? I have some that I want to flip actually. I'll tell you what, I've got four brand new in the box 1070s, GTX 1070s. I know this is not trying to like sell anything, but this is like a friend, literally a friend of mine's cards. He bought them like last year, maybe even the year. No, it was the year before last. And him and a friend of his were going to put a rig together, and they just never did. And he moved, and just one of those life kind of got in the way kind of stories. And so he's got 4 brand new in the box. Of the EVGA superclocked GeForce GTX 1070s, these bad boys. And I mean, it's literally never even been opened. Still got the tape on it, or the tag on it and everything. Freaking sick. So, pretty cool. I guess I need to get those on eBay soon. But mining ZEL with 1070s is not a bad choice. I thought about just cutting the box open and throwing it in the rig. Yeah, I've got some I want to flip for sure. I've got the old Founders Edition 1070s. I got 1080s, 1070 Ti's. These are such nice cards. Golly, awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good flip right there, CCW. Yeah, these are so awesome, and they're so like heavy and just like so well built. Love them. Sick. Whoops. Yeah, and I've never ever had a problem with them. I mean, they're just so solid. You turn the rig on and they just start working, man. I just never had a problem with that rig at all. As long as they got enough power, then they're good. They do run just a tad bit hotter than I would like, but that's they're blower cards, so but it's still not bad. And actually, these they were running for about a year now, and I need to repaste them for sure. The temps on them, they get a little warm from time to time, depending on what I'm mining, of course. I bet I could knock that power down to 80 probably and not lose any hash rate. Or not much anyway. At 90 now. My ADHD is kicking in. Y'all are over here talking about GPUs, and I just started thinking about, you know what? I need to adjust that power. Just the way my brain works. Yeah, I think whenever I was playing around with this before, I want to say that I threw it on 80, and it seemed to not really matter much after that. Anything above that, at least mining ZEL, you know. And I said at the top, I don't know if y'all were in here or not, but yeah, exactly, squirrel. I saw some people talking about Mini Z being better or a better hash rate off of Mini Z, but I tried it real quick. I mean, there might be some fine tuning that you can throw in there, but I saw a decrease in hash rate pretty significant. It was about 2. You know, I think I was getting like 21 or 20 or something like that with Mini Z. So I'm gonna stick with G Miner for now. Yeah, so it's at 76. Oh, there it goes. It popped up to 80. Oh, okay, so yeah, that would make sense. That's probably what I just saw it. It was just a Twitter. I think that maybe that's what it was. He probably had RTX cards. You got RTXs, Red Panda? Yeah, so he didn't lose much at all, but it dropped it down power-wise. But it looks like it does need more than 80. Maybe 85. I got you. I'm gonna leave it right there. All right, so I was gonna ask you this, CCW. I was looking for that earlier. You'll have to tell me where to go to do that, because I was wondering where can I go to. Well, let's go to help. I don't know if that's gonna show me. You can walk me through it. Just because I remember seeing it, and then I don't know. I forgot where it was. Oh, you're talking to Red Panda. My bad. I thought you were saying for me to do that over here. Time to buy a ZEL node. Oh, there. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Thanks for reminding me. I remember I saw it, but. Now, here's the next question though. So let's say I add something in here. Is there somewhere I can go to see beside, well, I mean, obviously I could go to the console, but is there somewhere else I can go to see, easily see what the miner option string is that I'm feeding to the miner without having to go all the way into here like that? Is there a way to do that? Basically to be able to see the whole string. Yeah, poor Raven. It's yeah. I don't know. There's some speculation that there's some stuff going on with it for sure, as far as FPGA farms and stuff like that. I don't know that, you know, I'm not gonna try to spread any rumors or anything, but it just seems like something's going on. And I follow the Raven whale bot, you know, on Twitter, and it's still happening where there's, you know, millions. Although I don't recall it yesterday or the day before, but there was still many days in a row where there were millions of Raven being moved and dumped and transferred to Binance. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think that in order for them to regain the confidence of miners, I think that they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to make a pretty huge change. Yeah, and there's actually some speculation that there's already ASICs on it too. But I don't know how to do all the analysis on it, on the nonces and all that stuff to figure it out. I mean, there's people that do it, so probably a little Google foo would find it, but I just haven't looked that far into it. Oh yeah, YouTube Watch Rack. And oh, you had a wallet or something, a mobile wallet, I think, if I remember right. Yeah, I can help you out with that. All right, so that is an hour. We've been going for an hour. And that was about 30 minutes longer than I wanted it to be. But you guys that are in here, let's talk about this whole ZEL node thing. I think that might be something super interesting. I think we can work something out with that. Yeah, Chris, it seems like the X16R V2 is not enough of a change, because all they did was they added that Tiger 192 or whatever before a couple of the algos randomly throughout, and yeah, I guess it just wasn't enough to make it to where they had to. I guess they didn't have to manufacture a brand new ASICs. They were able to modify in some way, you know. I guess that's the way it works. I don't know. It just seems like that. All right, so I am going to get out of here. It is 10:30 where I'm at. So I'm going to end this, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. I'll be doing a live stream again. I don't know what it's going to be on. Probably, let's see, tomorrow's the 19th. That means that AION is forking sometime tomorrow to Unity, so it'll probably be something to do with that. Most likely. Oh, yeah, that's true. They sure did. Chris, I remember that because I was actually playing around with Pexa too. I think I still have it. One of my OSs over here. All right, so yeah, let's keep the conversation going down in the comments and all that stuff. Or not, in the comments. And let's talk about this whole ZEL node thing. I'm interested. All right, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks, Miles and Daniel and Bearman and Chris and Red Panda and all you guys, YouTube watcher, all you guys that hung out. This was awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay savage.